machine off and start from scratch, which I will here. So I choose my cooking mode here at the top, convection mode. I can choose my temperature. It defaults to a set temperature based upon the setting. So if I know that typically most of my food items, I'm going to start out around 350, it'll default to 350. If I wanted to change that where I know I want to default to 325, you can change the settings and it'll default to 325. Of course, if I want to change it, I can push the icon block, which you'll see a white block here, and I can increase the temperature or decrease the temperature by pressing the plus and minus keys. If I press and hold, it'll count to 10 and then it'll jump by 10s. So 1, 2, 3, and then 10. So you can get from 350 to 212 pretty fast if you wanted to do that. Setting the time would be the next. So temperature, time, pretty typical scenarios for what you have to do when you're cooking, just thought process for convection cooking. Vent setting, most of you guys understand the principles because we just explained the venting process, but if you ask most operators, do you use the vent on some of the convection ovens they may have? Oh, I didn't know we had a vent. It's one of those hidden switch buttons or unknown features of the ovens, but venting is really an important process when we're controlling our food and when we're trying to get a desired result. Obviously, if you open up the vent, what's going to happen to the product? It's going to crisp up faster. It's going to dry out faster, especially the outside of the product, because you're removing all that moisture that's in the product or around the product. It's in the environment and you're venting it out. And the last thing is fan speed. Typically you default at a higher fan speed because obviously we know that moving air around a product convectively is a faster method of transferring heat than just standard convection oven or standard oven at home. So what we typically say, of course, standard oven to a convection oven, 25 degrees less at least, could be more based upon temperature, and 25% less time. You take that same principle, of course, into convection mode, but you could also think of that same analogy into combi mode for a lot of the food products in terms of a reduction of time, 25% less time, up to 50% reduction of time, depending on the product and cooking method previously. But fan speed, you're always going to get a better result on the higher fan speed, unless you're doing, meringue pies or anything special where you don't want to create any wave or you don't want to blow the pepperoni off of a pizza or something. If I press and hold the start button here for 3 seconds, it'll give a single beep. And notice the time is not started here. So the time shows 5 minutes, but the icon is not blinking, it's not flashing, meaning the timer started. So in this case, we have preheating. That's what everybody thinks about, but it's very important also under scenarios of lowering the temperature of precooling. So we all know I was just at 482 degrees. If I check the temperature here just by pressing this button, we're at 456. So right now, 455. The vent is open. The machine's lowering the temperature automatically by spritzing it with water and obviously removing the excess heat by leaving the vent wide open. So I've loaded the product. Once I shut the door, you notice this timer starts automatically.